Okay, y'all. I got to tell you about this. It makes me feel bad that, um, oh, here's some shade. It makes me feel bad, this little experience I just had, that I haven't gotten out more. And here's why. Y'all know we have a heavy homeless population in this area of Oceanside. And being out and about, I used to have lots of opportunities to uh, say a kind word, share a little money, buy a meal. Well, I saw this homeless man, and I've seen him lots of times before, y'all, and I have bought him breakfast before. And he's older, but maybe not that much older. I'm not crying, it's allergies. Um, Homeless people tend to look a lot older than they really are. Their life is rough, it's horrible. And I'm going to say this for the millionth time. I am so disappointed in our government. Now, there are people that say, oh, they're just lazy bums. They could get a job if they wanted to. Stick it where the sun don't shine. Is that a Christian thing to say? No, but I said it anyway. So I saw that gentleman, and Hazel and I were about to pull out of the parking lot, but when I saw him, all he had in his hand was a cup. I'm sure it was coffee. So we turned right into the drive-thru. Now, y'all, the upside to this is Hazel and I did get a sausage McGriddle. But I got two. And I was like, Lord, if I'm supposed to give this sandwich to him, please let him still be there when I get through the drive-thru. And y'all, there was this man in front of me, and he had a list of stuff that he was ordering. And when I pulled up for my turn, you could see on the screen that his order was $35, 34 and some change. And I was like, whoa, am I ever going to get through this line? But you know what? When God intends for you to do something, He's going to work it out so you can. But this is the interesting thing. When I was pulling up to the exit from the drive-thru, I looked over, and my little guy had, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was more than his cup of coffee. And I look over here, and here comes this young girl. She was very dirty and skinny as a rail, just so thin. And just like that, I thought, she must be the one. So I called to her, and she barely raised her head and her eyes. I said, sweetie, I have a sandwich. And so she walked over to the van, and I handed it to her, and she said, her head was down, and she said, thank you. Oh. Now that breaks my heart. the old and the young. Now, they're not going to starve to death, y'all, and I know that because Bread of Life is right over there, and they all know about Bread of Life. When you're in the homeless community, they exchange information. I'm so ashamed of our government. So ashamed. This is the United States of America. And y'all, please don't start saying anything about the illegals or the immigrants. We have plenty of money to take care of everybody. If we would keep our nose out of everybody else's country and take care of our own first. That's biblical. I don't get it, y'all. Except I have said this before. You don't hear people running for president or government office that are trying to get voted in talk about the homeless. I did hear Bernie Sanders bring it up once, but they don't talk about them because homeless people don't vote. And they want all the votes they can get. And homeless people are not going to give it to them. I'm very disappointed, and y'all know that. This is not the first time I've expressed my feelings about this. But I feel bad because by staying home all the time, I have missed opportunities. And even if that young girl had just eaten, if someone else had bought her some breakfast, just the fact that somebody was kind to her. And if the situation had been different, if I hadn't been holding up a line and if she'd been somewhere sitting on the grass, I would have stopped and gotten out and tried to talk to her just for a minute. Just for a minute. Because you could tell from her demeanor she would not be comfortable with a full-on conversation. But I would have loved to have given her a hug. I can tell you right now, I would be out campaigning for someone who had homeless people on their platform. Okay, that's enough, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rant. Oh, gosh. But y'all know it does break my heart. And Hazel and I are going to make more of an effort to get out. Get out of our little bubble. Now, y'all remember, some of y'all do, before Hazel lost her hearing, I would have had to have parked and jumped out of the van to catch that young lady, because to hand that sack of food out the window and she reached in to get it, Hazel would have tried to take her hand off. It's happened to me before. So I guess if there's any upside at all to her deafness, it's that. She could have had her back turned and not even seen it, but she would have sensed somebody coming up to the van. and she would have been going ballistic. But anyway, y'all, sometimes we just need to get out and about a little bit, because you never know the opportunities that God is going to put in front of you. He doesn't do it all the time. It's not like every time you leave the house you're bombarded. You know, it's that occasional thing. And y'all, I can say without a doubt, that he got my attention with that gentleman, but it was that young lady that I was supposed to reach out to. I don't know. You know what? This is not a religious channel. I don't try to shove religion or Christianity down anybody's throat. I respect people's beliefs and opinions, even if they're way different than mine. But I know that people that may not be Christians have good, caring hearts. We don't have the monopoly on that. Thank goodness. But anyway, y'all, I had to share that with y'all because, because it's a testimony and because it might encourage somebody. It's hard sometimes when it's not part of your, what I would say for me is my normal life, because of the area I live in. Everybody doesn't have the same opportunities available to them. But y'all know, even smiling at somebody you see can give them a little lift. Now, Miss Hazel smells this McGriddle, and we're going to eat it before we go home because we like our food warm. I love y'all so much, and you just give me an opportunity to share everything with y'all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I doubt there's anything about me that y'all don't know. Some of it you probably wish you didn't. But anyway, y'all, smile at somebody today. It could really lift their spirits. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.